For this week's report, we cover the town election results, the Exeter Fire Department rescues a dog from the river, Youth Art Month returns to the Town Hall, we say goodbye to the grandfather of Exeter TV, and a look at one of the town's newest commissions. For Exeter TV, I'm Gabe Perez, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread the word about the show and all things Exeter. For our first segment, we spent the day covering everything that went down during the town election last Tuesday. We have a recap of the results here. The Exeter town election began on Tuesday, March 11th at 7 a.m. A steady stream of Exeter residents made their way through the Talbot Gymnasium in order to cast their ballots for the pressing issues in our town. 13 hours passed by quickly, as 2,296 ballots were casted, a 17.6% turnout of citizens. Select Board member Dan Chartrand was able to give us a few words on how the town functions as efficiently as it does.
Well, we do need a lot of volunteers to run our elections. A few years ago, like 5 to 10 years ago, we had a group of folks that had been doing it for a long time, and they were running out of steam. Our town moderator, Kate Miller, and our town clerk, Andy Kohler, have done a great job of recruiting a new generation of volunteers to administer the elections, and so we can always use more. And again, we need you to volunteer to help run these elections, because without the volunteers, we don't have elections.
By the end of the night, with the doors locked and final voters make their exit, the town's volunteers get to work counting the ballots, a process that took several hours of work to make sure everything was done correctly. Late into the night, town moderator Kate Miller was able to announce the results.
These are the results of the town election for the town of Exeter, New Hampshire, March 11, 2025. For Selectman, Julie Gilman, 1,786 votes. Nico Papakostantis, 1,699. For trustees of the library.
Notable articles passed, such as Article 3 to create a new groundwater source off Drinkwater Road, with 1,495 yes to 710 no. Article 4, which includes the removal of Pickpocket Dam, with 1,501 yes and 723 no. And the town's operating budget, with a yes vote of 1,431 to 772 no. Nights like these are what help keep the town of Exeter running. Voters and volunteers alike should feel accomplished for contributing to keeping the greater whole of Exeter the town it deserves to be. If you would like to see the remaining results of the election, including the results from the cooperative school system and SAU 16, you can visit the town website at exeternh.gov/elections. The fire department was called to the rescue when a dog had gotten stranded in the ice in the middle of the Squamscott River in Swasey Parkway. We spoke with some of the folk who were on the scene. While people from around town made their way to the polls, trouble struck Exeter in Swasey Parkway last Tuesday. A dog had fallen into the river.
The call came in, there was a dog in the river. At this time of year, obviously, there's a bunch of ice, it's thawing out, it's rather thin.
Yeah, so for water rescues and when it comes to dogs, we kind of follow the same procedures. We take our squad, which is our rescue, has all of our specialty stuff on it, all our water rescue stuff on it. And then we take an ambulance also. So the crew that would be on the ambulance, there's usually two of them. One of them will get in the back and we'll take one person off of our engine to go in the back also, and they'll both get ready. So what that means is they're gonna put water rescue suits on, they're gonna put helmets on if we're in a swift water environment. But in this case, where it's cold water, we have special cold water suits that we use. So they're gonna get in and put those on the way there. So they're ready to get out and go to work.
A crowd had formed as the firefighters arrived by the flagpole off of Newfield's side of Swasey Parkway, which had only recently become open to traffic, allowing ease and convenience when entering for the firefighters to arrive.
From that point, the crew that has the suits on, they're gonna come out and make their way to the water edge. Everybody else is gonna put PFDs on. That's a procedural thing where if you're near the edge of the water, everybody for safety has to wear a PFD. And then we have ropes that attach to those suits. So as they're walking out, somebody's gonna attach a rope to it, and then we identify where the dog is and the best way to access that. So for me, it was finding an access point for the crew to go into the water to go get the dog.
We're taking a look at it. Obviously feel bad for the little guy sitting out there on the ice. He looked pretty scared. Yeah, I heard he had gone through once and he was sitting out there. I'm a dog lover, so it was kind of like, feel bad for the little guy sitting there.
You say gone through, like gone through under the water? Or?
I think at some point he must have got wet. I don't know if the ice was super thin, so.
With the crew attached and ready to go, Connor McCallum took point and made his way through the water.
So the suits we have are pretty insulated. So it wasn't cold till it splashed me in the face. Getting out there, I tried to use as much of the ice as possible. It was thin, so I kept going through. I managed to get to the dog, and thankfully he was on a thicker piece of the ice. It was obviously scared dog, you're not sure how he's gonna react to it. So thankfully he was very friendly. He was very happy to see me. I got out there, I got a hold of him, I got to the edge of the ice, and I gave the signal to the rest of the crew, and they just pulled me in. Very happy to see him safe on the shore. Gave him back to his owner. He was very happy. And then I got to take the suit off and I could actually pet the dog without the giant gloves on.
Oh, so you got to
yeah,
pet him too?
exactly. He was very happy. Said thank you.
Awesome. While Connor got to face the brunt of getting the dog through the ice, the rest of the crew there were essential in making sure the rescue operation happened safely and efficiently, something that the Exeter Fire Department is incredibly good at. While this day, a dog's life was saved, the next could be something more severe. But the fire department does their best to ensure that the town stays safe and protected at all times. Schools from all over have brought their art to the town hall as part of the annual Youth Art Month. Dan Monchek has the scoop.
Art fills a unique role in students' lives. Not only does it help them develop on a cognitive, social, physical, and emotional level, but arts help to solidify and draw connections to all other subjects that are taught in school. With March being Youth Art Month, it's the perfect opportunity to emphasize the importance of art in young people's education, and to showcase their work. For the rest of March, you can come to the Art Gallery, located on the second floor of Town Hall at 9 Front Street, to see some of this art on display. It's open Fridays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. The gallery is showing artwork from multiple schools throughout the area, including pieces from Epping School District, Exeter School District, Heronfield Academy, Building Blocks Commons, and Creative Community Space. Come on down to see some of the amazing artwork that students put together.
Last Friday, we celebrated the retirement of Andy Swanson, the town's IT coordinator for the last 19 years. We take a look into Andy's history both with the town and his personal connection with Exeter TV. A crowd gathered last Friday to send off a beloved member of the Exeter Town Office's community, Andy Swanson. March 7th was Andy's final day with the town of Exeter, a 19-year tenure as the town's IT coordinator. Andy, who was the impetus for the town's entire IT infrastructure, brought important networking systems online between the town offices and other government buildings, such as the police and fire station and public works.
Andy was our point person on implementing the fiber line runs that we have in the town. He actually took that on by himself and pulled it all together and made it a success. And that changed the dynamics of our IT infrastructure. I mean, it made us go from being carriage and buggy to, full speed IT, full speed internet. Andy's fiber line investment at that time was the right call. It still is today, and it was a great win-win for the town and I'm sure he would be proud to say this, at a low cost.
The best thing about coming here was that the infrastructure is 100% in place, and it's just like maintaining it at this point. So, for example, like the firewalls, switches, wireless access points, they all age out just like a PC would. So we just have to maintain that and maintain that infrastructure. Andy was the impetus behind getting all the buildings interconnected. Without that, we're years behind or decades behind. It's more like soft wisdom and not tech wisdom. Really just figuring out how we're going to run this thing going forward. A lot of people wisdom, departmental history, stuff like that. That's what he's leaving behind.
I did want to point out Jonathan in the back, because they kept talking about how we grew all this. Well, when I got to that point where I was pulling out my hair and I didn't know what to do? That guy, right there. So,
Being the first true in-house IT coordinator the town of Exeter ever had was no easy feat, and Andy's accomplishments in the time he's been here couldn't be covered in one video. But something personal to Exeter TV is that Andy was what made Exeter TV what it is today. While it's not its original creator, Andy would take the reins in the early years of our inception, looking to modernize it and give it the baby steps it needed to grow into the operation it has become today.
This is where I come in. I first met Andy when I applied to be a government camera operator back in 2007. On top of being the IT coordinator, Andy was tasked with running the operations of the town's government access station. In those early days, I knew nothing of cameras or technology, other than the simple track phone in my pocket. I joined many other current and former Exeter High School students that gained their first major experience in video through covering meetings and filming events. Andy was always great about trying out new equipment and trying to push the bounds of what EXTV could do. As I went to school in New York, I stayed in touch, coming back to film the odd meeting or occasional event. In 2016, I had just finished my master's degree and moved back to the US and needed a job. I reached out to Andy to get what I hope would be a part-time gig to earn money while I found a permanent career. 7 years later, I'm still here, and I owe much of that to Andy. Starting back with the town as the IT TV tech, he saw the potential in me with my film experience and my willingness to learn IT. Andy was always a great boss. He supported me and other staff in our specific interests and guided our creative energy into making videos for and about the town. He knew what he needed to do to let his employees and Exeter TV flourish.
And Bob is right. Andy played a pivotal role in elevating his employees, leaving behind a mass of individuals who all have nothing but kind words and positive messages left for him. To break the fourth wall just a little bit, we here at Exeter TV created a 14-minute goodbye video for Andy, which included over a dozen former employees saying goodbye to him. While we can't include all of them here, some stand as a good representation of what it's like to be a former employee to Andy Swanson.
I just wanted to say thank you for giving me an opportunity at a job that 10 years ago, can you believe that, would jumpstart my career and my love and passion for broadcast. And I didn't know it at the time, but I would soon wind up as a full-time audio engineer for the New England Sports Network.
Whether it's how to fix a computer problem or what food I should eat, you've been a bottomless pit of technical expertise.
I got to see all sorts of stuff that I probably wouldn't have around town. I don't think I'll ever legally be able to go up into the spire in the old town hall ever again. But, I'll remember that stuff, so thanks.
Andy has had a lasting impact on me, and I hope that I can continue in his honor by being a good supervisor to my staff in the TV department. As Andy retires from working for the town, he is also closing his chapter of being an Exeter resident and starts a new story.
my interns over the years have gone on to greatness. When you're somebody's supervisor, your job is to remove any impediments from them being able to do their job well. Consequently, I think that they've done really well.
So as the question always stands, what's next for Andy Swanson?
I'm actually moving out of town after being here for 60-some years. I intend to, as a hobby, create a YouTube channel or two, hoping to do a live stream every morning when I'm out there training my dogs. And my dogs are 8 years old. They haven't been trained very much. So we're going to be talking about old dogs, me included, and new tricks.
We here at Exeter TV want to give the biggest of goodbyes to Andy Swanson. A thank you for turning this program into something that we are all truly proud to be a part of. We hope Andy comes back soon, and we hope that we're able to talk to him about his dogs just a little bit more. So, thank you, Andy, for everything that you've done. And for our last segment, the 250th Celebration Commission is Exeter's newest commission to help plan for America's 250th birthday. Dan Monchak takes a look at their first official meeting with our Meeting Minute series.
This is your Meeting Minute for the March 4th 250th Celebration Commission. 2026 will mark the United States sesquicentennial, or 250th anniversary of its independence. The purpose of the 250th Celebration Commission is to organize thematic tributes to the American Revolution throughout the year. This is a newly formed commission with a lot of work to be done before the anniversary comes around. One of the first items of discussion for the meeting surrounded branding the 250th celebration.
We're moving in the right direction. Good. I think we need to get this thing branded.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just wanted to make sure.
So are you, and I'm willing to work on that piece. I will own that. Not that I'm gonna make any decisions, but I mean, at least in terms of getting that going, I love the idea of putting it out to students as well.
After some discussion, the commission decided they wanted to have artwork created by local artists for the celebration, but also include Exeter students in the logo design process.
And then we also need some identifiable art. Is this what I'm getting? That we have two different things going here? Like this is the logo and this is art.
The commission went on to discuss potential events they could put on for the 250th.
Well, I think we could have lots of events.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking at least something every month.
Yes, beginning when? Bunker Hill? Or inside 226? Inside 2026?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the discussion around the events are still in their conceptual phase, but the commission was not short on ideas. The next 250th Celebration Commission meeting will take place on March 18th. See you there.
That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. Head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on March 28th for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Gabe Perez, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, Exeter. First try.